am really, truly honored to be standing up here, Mr. Mayor. Good seeing you. To all the honorees who are getting an award this evening, to my East Orange family that's here, give yourself a hand for even just coming out. And honestly, anytime that I receive an award, I'm always grateful for those folks who shoulders I stand on. But more so when we think about CARE, and we just saw the video, let's give CARE a round of applause for what they do each and every day, for, for being that voice of the voiceless, for being that arm that folks can reach out to and get help. As mayors, we are on a local level, but it's so grateful and honored to know that as Muslims that we have an organization that not only just talking about what they're doing, but it's their actions what they're doing. So I am so grateful to not only be the 14th mayor of the city of East Orange, but be a mayor that we are driving a charge in the city of East Orange, that East Orange is just one city, one community. We have one goal, and that goal is progress. And that progress goes out to everyone that's in the city of East Orange, but more proud of those who really serve, the Muslims who serve really in the city hall. And we have quite a few Muslim brothers and sisters who serve. But I do want to just give a big shout out to one of my council colleagues who's here, Mustafa Brent, who sits in the back, who is, again, a strong advocate of community. So to all the members and the board members of CARE, thank you so much for caring. Thank you so much for being who you are each and every day. And again, I'm very honored to be just a recipient of an award tonight under CARE. Assalamu alaikum.
Third, but not the least, I want to invite Dr. Sadaf Jaffer, Mayor of Montgomery Township. Dr. Jaffer is the first Muslim mayor not in New Jersey, but in USA. So that deserves a whole round of applause. Dr. Sadaf is a postdoctoral research professor at Princeton University. She teaches South Asian studies, Islamic studies, and Asian American studies. She was elected in the November of 2017 election, and she was appointed as mayor by the council in January of 2018. Dr. Sadaf Jaffer.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. I just want to make a quick correction that I think I'm the first Muslim woman to be a mayor in the US that we know of. So very happy, and hopefully we'll see many more women taking up these positions of power and authority as we move forward. There are a few things that I wanted to share with you all this evening. One is how important it is to represent the diversity of our community, to have women in leadership roles, to have people from different Muslim schools of thought and ethnic backgrounds and things like that when you do your organizing, and also solidarity with other groups. And I was very happy to see that emphasized in the video that we just saw. In our town in Montgomery, we actually had an anti-Muslim bias crime last year, which was my first year on the township committee. And when trying to figure out how to respond to that, what we decided to do is to start a chapter of Not in Our Town, which is an organization that combats all forms of prejudice and tries to build community in that way. And we've had meetings in the synagogues in town, in the Catholic Church, in the Protestant churches, and I think that that's really powerful. And I see that as the future of the Muslim community, which is coming together in solidarity with the other groups that we can work together and support each other. But it's really an honor to be here. And as I said, I hope to see especially more Muslim women getting involved in politics at the local level. There's a lot of change that you can make at the local level, and I'm certainly here to provide any advice or support for anyone who's interested. So thank you so much.
Can I request Nadia Kaf and Nihad Awad to come up to give the awards, please? Thank you, mayors. Thank you. Oh.
Congratulations to all three mayors. You are inspiring to the Muslim community, to our youth. Inshallah, may you make great choices and may Allah give you the strength and all great blessings. And right now, if we pay attention to the screens, we are going to be playing the Care New Jersey video for several minutes. Thank you.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist, active shooter. Active shooter. Active shooter. Said pull down the shade. I can't believe you're.
If you have somebody, a big guy attacking you, you don't have to wait to get beat up to defend yourself. You understand? Now, Mr. J, the attorney, what kind of force can she use to defend herself if I'm attacking her?
You're gonna say it with me. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
In a sign of the times and the growing diversity in our area, Macy's has decided to roll out a new line of clothes, which includes a hijab, more than just Muslim style clothes. They're talking about a more modest selection of clothing.
This is an opportunity for Muslims because it's empowering women. And it's not just for Muslims, really. It's for anyone who's into modest clothing. There's Orthodox Jews, there's Mormons, anyone who likes to wear modest clothing.
Justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
On Good Friday, Martin Luther King is going to be arrested. Bull Connor puts him in isolation, does not allow him access to the outside world. This was to shake Birmingham in their faith in Dr. King. And so he can't let that go without a response. And so he pens the letter from a Birmingham jail. These bars and that stool are the exact bars that Dr. King was locked behind when he wrote that letter.
To understand the deep sense of dedication and determination that those people went through, they paid for the freedoms of African Americans with their very blood.
Voltaire said the following. He said, if you could lead people to believe in absurdity, then you could lead people to commit atrocities.
And some people even don't believe that what happened has happened and African Americans should forget about it. They cannot forget about it, and we have to recognize what happened for so many years and pledge our organization to be true fighters for justice.
This is the place where they were confronted by the police, who were ready to kill them, to beat them, and stop the action and stop the march. And today we are walking free of fear, but the struggle continues for their people and for us and for all humanity.
The Evans Pettus Bridge, the Bloody Sunday. You see the pictures, you see the video. It affects you in a certain way, but not like when you are there and you're seeing the history of it unfold. We saw the memorials there, the graves. It was a gloomy weather, gloomy mood, somber mood. So nature was very compatible to my sentiments. I'm not the same person that I was when I came down here.
This was a life-changing journey, which everyone must take at least once in their lifetime, as we continue to struggle together for justice and equality for all.
We'd like to recognize our sponsors, the CARE sponsors tonight. We've been seeing the screen, the Basha restaurant. Are they here today? The restaurant, it's in Franklin Park, Kendall Park area. I've actually visited there once. The food is delicious. Are they here? Where? I can't see you. Oh, right there in the corner. Thank you very much. A few of the other sponsors are Habibi, and there are vials, perfume vials, at your table for everyone here. And then Darul Iman. Are folks from Habibi and Darul Iman here? Yes? No? And then A+ Photo Video. They're going around taking pictures and video. Right here, right? And right here. Very good. And then I'd like to recognize the Girl Scouts. They have a table back here. They're selling cookies. And they will be helping, going around collecting the funds when we do the fundraising part. But thank you to the Girl Scouts. And now I have the pleasure to welcome Brother Nihad Awad. He's the Executive Director of the Council of American Islamic Relations, a Washington, D.C.-based grassroots membership organization which seeks to empower the North American Muslim community through political and social activism. Mr. Awad helped found CARE in June 1994, which has grown rapidly in the United States and Canada. CARE's experts are frequently interviewed on national and international media such as CNN, BBC, World Service, the New York Times, and the Washington Post. Its trademark action alerts go nationwide by fax and worldwide on the internet. In 1997, Mr. Awad joined the civil rights advisory panel to the White House Commission on Aviation Safety and Security. Mr. Awad conducts media seminars across the country to train Muslim communities in communication techniques. CARE's publications on the status of Muslim civil rights in the United States have been featured on several talk shows and distributed to every member of Congress. Please give a warm welcome to Brother Nihad Awad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and pleasure for me to come and visit CARE, New Jersey chapter's annual banquet, and also to show appreciation for the sacrifice of the board, the staff, and the volunteers. So I'm here to say we are celebrating great achievement of this very important chapter and this very important organization that is unique in its purpose, unique in its service, unique in its sacrifice, and unique in facing the challenges that the American Muslim community is enduring. I also would like to recognize and congratulate all the honorees, Mayor Jafar, Mayor Green, and Mayor Khairallah. MashaAllah, it seems that New Jersey is so inspiring. I travel around the country. I believe, and this is true, that New Jersey has the highest number of elected Muslim officials. So there must be something about this community. I urge you, as I was sitting and talking to Brother Radwan, I was thinking that expertise, that momentum at this critical time in the history of Islam in this country and the history of the Muslim community in the United States, it is so important to continue to inspire other people. I urge the elected Muslim officials to travel around the country and inspire young Muslims to be positive and to look at the future, their own future. So may Allah bless you for your service, for your public service, and may Allah bless you for being the best representative of Islam and American Muslims. I also would like to recognize, as I have seen, two legal minds that have inspired me throughout the years. You have in New Jersey, Dr. Sahar Aziz, who's here. MashaAllah, a great friend of CARE and the Muslim community and civil liberties, very staunch ally and defender of human rights. And also our friend, Alhamdulillah, attorney Omar Mohammadi, who is a prominent attorney from New York and who led the fight on behalf of oppressed people for so many decades. And he won the famous case of Amadou Diallo, and he's also closely associated with CARE New York. Thank you so much. Brothers and sisters, as Mayor Khairallah said, we cannot, especially immigrant Muslims like myself, we cannot pretend to enjoy the civil rights that you and I are celebrating today and defending today without recognizing and acknowledging and thanking so many minorities who came before us, but in particular, one community, one minority that has contributed so much and has suffered so much and has given so much to America and to the world. That is the African American community. And in particular, The African American Muslim community has special place in my heart, in our hearts. I, as a student, while being on the campus of the University of Minnesota, the ones who nurtured my understanding of American Islam and the civil rights movement and the Muslim civil rights movement were my African American brothers and sisters on campus, my college mates, my community leaders. I owe all of you and them great deal of thanks for who you are, for what you did to help establish Islam in this country. And also, we are standing on those giant shoulders. Without the Islamic civil rights movement, I could not help establish CARE as the first institution in the history of Islam in this country to be an advocate for human rights and civil rights of Muslims. So we are building and continuing this movement that was started by those who have suffered and those who continue to give, all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not repeat a lot of what has been said in the video, but I would like to share with you the essence of why we do this. My colleague Ibrahim Hooper, you don't see him traveling around the country, but he's a co-founder of CARE, and he's our National Communications Director. At one event, he was sitting at the table with community leaders, and one of them asked Ibrahim, jokingly, and also with admiration, he asked Ibrahim, why did CARE succeed? Because Alhamdulillah, CARE, Allah's blessings, has succeeded, and it is really a magnificent and franchised organization nationwide. And you can see the work of this organization. So Ibrahim, in an innocent way, answered, he said, the reason we succeeded is because we answered the phone. We answered the phone. That simple answer summarizes the DNA of this organization. We answer the phone. Why? Because we know the one who calls has something worrying them. They need help. It could be a student in a classmate. It could be someone in the workplace. It could be a community leader. It could be any professional. It could be a mayor. When they call for a reason. And they expect someone to answer the phone with an answer and ready to help. Not 9 to 5, but any time of the day, any time of the night. And that is really one of the reasons Allah blessed us, that we have so many people nationwide who leave everything and put everything aside to answer the call of duty and respond with courage, with facts, and serve the community without any political calculation. You know that over the time, CARE has grown in influence, in presence nationwide. We started with a tiny office in Washington, D.C., with a budget of $60,000, 2 individuals, myself and Ibrahim Hooper. Today, we have 35 offices nationwide with a budget of over $35 million, more than 250 full-time staff, and 60 full-time attorneys defending unapologetically the right of Muslims in this country. That is important because what we have been doing all these years, also CARE has been at the receiving end. There are many detractors, many people who will not sit idly and see Islam growing in this country. They will bash you, they will smear you, they will defame you. If you are lazy, if you are on the sideline, quiet, silent, they don't care about you. But when they see you active, proud of your religion, moving forward, defending the best values of this country, standing up to the most powerful people, they will start to rally against you, lobby against you, organize against you, and even harm you and kill you if they can. Ask all other minorities, and you will see the answer right there. So we take pride in the fact that we are there because of you, brothers and sisters. We don't have the courage just because it came to us. It came to us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also you have inspired us with your prayers, with your support, with your dua, with your contribution, with the very reason that you chose to be here tonight. You had the choice to be somewhere else, but you chose to be here tonight for one reason: to celebrate the achievement, to look down the future, but also to lend a hand of support for this organization to continue to serve our community honorably. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you for willing to stand with CARE, as CARE is willing to stand with you, inshallah, all the way. I would like to talk to you about the importance of answering the phone, but also the importance of starting on time. I know that, mashallah, all of you came in different phases. We would like always to start on time, finish on time, and be the most professional we can be. Alhamdulillah, our religion is based on the concept of organizing and delivery and management. We are leaders. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects the Muslim community to be the leader of nations, of mankind, because of what He has blessed us with, including being an organizer. So inshallah, I would like you to capture this as you move forward in your activities and also being part of this great effort of CARE. I would like to talk to you about the importance of answering the phone. In 2008, a 17-year-old sister, her name is Samantha Aloof, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, applied for a job at Abercrombie and Fitch. In the application, she did not mention that she wears hijab. When she was interviewed for the job, they noticed that she is wearing hijab, and they challenged her, and they denied her the job employment because of her hijab. You can imagine how shaking she was, 17 years old, to be rejected just because of her faith. She asked, and they said to her that there's an office in Oklahoma City, why don't you call? She called, and yes, someone answered the phone. Someone answered the phone and processed her complaint and worked with the local EOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and they filed a complaint of religious discrimination. That complaint continued its way from one court to another, from 1 year to another. It started in 2008. We took it all the way to the Supreme Court. In 2015, in a vote of 8-1, the Supreme Court justices stood by Samantha's religious right and affirmed that her religious right to wear hijab in the workplace is protected. And she won the case after 7 years of fight. Why? Because she knew that there is an organization for her, and there's someone who's willing to answer the phone, and someone who's willing to fight all the way to the Supreme Court. That is one of thousands of cases. But you can imagine that this case made history for Muslims in this country for generations to come, because someone answered the phone. Someone took it all the way. Someone who did not give up her right to practice her religion, and there was an organization that was willing to fight with her all the way. A second case. We know that the Muslim community is growing. The Somali community is also growing in number, alhamdulillah, and influence as part of our community. Workers in factories, those who believe in their rights, and those who practice their daily prayers, they should know that their rights to practice their daily prayers at the workplace is protected by the United States Constitution. And they should not give it up because of the ignorance of their managers. In Colorado, 139 Somali workers were fired because of the Maghrib prayer. They were given the choice to have their wages, which is low to start with, or to leave the job if they would like to pray. They were fired because they stuck to their rights. They called CARE. CARE processed the complaint, negotiated with the company. The company refused to budge. We sued them. It took us a few years. A few months ago, we announced $1.7 million settlement in favor of the employees. For many years, the Muslim community has been trying to articulate a fair position on the issue and justice for Palestine. Emotions do not cut it. While we are a domestic community, we also care about the suffering of Muslims in the world. And the issue of Palestine is dear and near to all of your hearts. I know that for sure. So there has been a national movement that started in Palestine and it's now echoing around the world. That's called BDS. Boycott, divest, and sanction against the state of Israel. The right to boycott is an American right. The right to boycott started the American Revolution. It is a First Amendment right. No one can confiscate it. You have the right to buy from any company, and you have the right to boycott any company you want. That is your political free speech, and you're entitled to it. So that movement started on campuses, within churches, everywhere around the world, including in the United States. The pro-Israel lobby started to panic, and they leveraged their power. And they managed to pass legislation into laws in 26 countries, prohibiting contractors for local states the opportunity to bid on any contract if they have engaged in boycotts against Israel, or are engaging in boycotts against Israel, or will be engaging in boycotts against the state of Israel. It is un-American and unconstitutional. But some people thought that they have the power to change even our laws and our constitution. One sister, her name is Bahia Amawi, a mother of 4 children, school pathologist at the public school in Texas. When she was presented the contract, caught her attention that she has to make a pledge not to boycott the state of Israel. What does it have to do with the work of a school teacher? When she saw that, she knew that she's gonna lose her job, but also she decided to stick to her principle and her right to boycott the state of Israel. So they denied her the contract. She called CARE. CARE filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas. The governor tweeted saying that we stand by the state of Israel, period. And we tell the governor of the state of Texas, we stand by the United States Constitution, period. And we sued them. I assure you that this unconstitutional laws in 26 states will be defeated one by one, inshallah. But we would like you, I would like to share this with you, that this law has passed also in the state of New Jersey. And we have to defeat it in the state of New Jersey. So this is one homework for you. Look for any Muslim or any non-Muslim who may be presented with a contract, and look in the fine details. And if you see that clause, encourage these people not to submit. In fact, CARE will be representing them, as we do throughout the country, free of charge, because we have to change this unconstitutional law in the state of New Jersey. Do you agree? Okay. I'm winding down. Bullying is a major crisis that we are witnessing nationwide. I am sorry to share with you the bad news that bullying is rampant in public schools against young Muslims. The overwhelming majority of Muslims complain about being bullied, not only by their classmates, but by school officials. And I'm sorry to report to you that the suicide rate among Muslims, young Muslims, is on the rise because of this. We get the reports and we get cases, heartbreaking cases. In Minnesota, a 14-year-old boy, Jacob, son of a convert, recently convert mother, with special needs, the student with special needs, Jacob, 14 years old, was bullied by his classmates repeatedly, and he was assaulted physically to the point that he had concussion. And he complained to the school, and they did nothing to him, for him. His mother tried her best, and she said she was only one voice, and she could not change the attitude of the school district. Jacob could not take it anymore. He took his own life. She reported the case, obviously, to CARE. This tragedy should not happen. And we have to hold people accountable. The school district claimed that they did their best, but we know, and the mother knows, that they did not take it seriously. And CARE filed a lawsuit against the school district. We have to prevent this from happening. And CARE is engaged in a major campaign nationwide against bullying. And we have to open up to our children. We have to let them tell us what goes on in the school. And we have to show them the best support. If you cannot help your children, have the imam help them. Have experts help them. But brothers and sisters, our future is at stake. And the Muslim students in public schools are suffering in silence. And we would like to tell them and let them know that CARE has their backs. And we are there to help them. Not after the fact, but right now, defending the rights to be Muslim. They have to assert their identity without fear, without intimidation. Do you agree with me? Okay, so it is an important initiative that CARE New Jersey, along with our chapters nationwide, we are going to be engaged in major anti-bullying campaigns to protect the rights of Muslim children. And finally, despite all of this, despite the more than 2.5 years of concentrated and concerted effort to silence the Muslim community, to push them aside, to scare them, to run away, the Muslim community has shown the best of itself and its faith and the best of this country. The Muslim community did not run away when Donald Trump announced total and complete shutdown of Muslim immigration to the US. The Muslim community did not sit on the sideline when Ben Carson said that a Muslim cannot be president of this country. The Muslim community was not silent when Ted Cruz urged so-called monitoring of Muslim neighborhoods in the country. You can see these major presidential candidates, the most powerful people in our country, have legitimized and normalized Islamophobia, has given the green light for people to discriminate and look at the Muslim community as alien, as a threat to this country that doesn't have any place. The Muslim community and our allies have proved them wrong, in a very astonishing manner. Every year, about 30 Muslims nationwide run for public office and win. In the past 2 years, 276 Muslims ran for public office, and 131 won. And this is historic. The Muslim community is running for public office, they're running for politics, they're not running away from politics. Every year, every election cycle, the Muslim community raises about 500,000, less than $500,000 in terms of political contributions. In the past 2 years, the Muslim community was able to raise $18 million to support their candidates. And that is also historic. So that is a movement that is growing, that the Muslim community is asserting itself. And most of these candidates are young Muslims. And the message was very clear. If a 72-year-old man with zero experience in politics, who lies about everything in his life, who targets every part of our communities, managed to run and win the highest office of the land, then any one of you can run and win, and should run and win. So please encourage young Muslims who think about politics to continue on that route. If you think that your children would like to study law, encourage them. If you think that your children would like to study filmmaking, don't just tell them to become an engineer or a physician. Let them be who they are, because this country needs them and the Muslim community needs these new talents. So please encourage young Muslims to do that. And those who would like to run for public office, as in the video we have announced, we are going to help 200 Muslims to run for public office from now until year 2020, inshallah. Until they announce themselves, we will help them every way we can. So to conclude, the Muslim community, alhamdulillah, is in good hands. We're not satisfied with what we have done. As long as there is discrimination, CARE is there, and we need you to support CARE, to support the Muslim community. As you have seen, CARE staff, CARE lawyers, do not hesitate to stand up for the Muslim community and for all other Americans who need our support. So tonight, do not hesitate to give generously, because CARE needs you as you need it throughout the year. May Allah bless you for your attention. May Allah bless you for your generosity, for coming and for being part of this great experience. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Let's give another round of applause for Brother Nihad Awad. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your words, your efforts, your inspiration. So now comes a time which is called the fun time. Sheikh Mutaz Sharaf will be leading this. Imam Mutaz Sharaf has been a community leader and guest khatib in the tri-state area for over 20 years. Originally from Syria, he studied traditional Islam there under various scholars and continued on to complement his studies with a master's in Muslim-Christian relations at Hartford Seminary. Imam Mutaz Sharaf has served the community as a volunteer chaplain under the Bergen County Prosecutor, a Muslim chaplain at Rutgers University, New Brunswick, a volunteer clergy at various hospitals, and as the Director of Education at Minhaj al-Quran in Hackensack, New Jersey. He is also the president and founder of Al-Zahra Education Foundation, under which he started Hidayah Weekend Schools and a variety of masjids to help facilitate Islamic learning. So please welcome Sheikh Mutaz Sharaf.